here because I know all the rules, but it's easy enough to just go read them just for every little intricate thing. So this is more of a class on how to not be that guy at weapons check that you hate getting your weapons checked by. So we all know there's the people who go through who are checking reds, for instance, backing reds, and weighs like 100 pounds soaking wet and just can't take the hit. Then the weapon doesn't necessarily fail, but on someone, if Mankey swings on someone like Raceland as hard as he can on his back, just the forces, like, you will make that red fail. So that's more so what the class is on. And then a general, like, just how to go over a weapon. So start off with how to go over weapons. The first thing I do, really pick it up, notice the weight. You can kind of get a feel for if a weapon's over 12 or under 12 just by, just picking up hundreds of weapons and doing weapon check a lot. If you're ever questioned about it, you would have a scale on hand, weigh it. Twelve and a half. Okay, you just check it like that. Balance point, something to just go over real quick. You just feel it in your hand. If you at the base or the top of the handle or the base of the foam, if it goes towards the blade and Dagorhir, that's fine. You give the blade a nice squeeze. You're not trying to break any foam. You're not digging your thumb in anything or in the tip. That's a big thing you see a lot. It's like, why is this guy molesting my weapon that I just got and trying to like dig the foam out? You just press like using like forward or pressure not in a point, just like over your hand. If you can feel that tip or not, if you can feel the tip, it fails. If not, you're fine. You're not gonna stab someone right in the spine bone and like, oh, the core got you right there. It's gonna be a stab like that if you're gonna feel core. So you give that squeeze, feel all the way down, feel for any spots. You're feeling for core. That's all you're doing. If you can feel stab, like kind of, like a little bit, you'll do a hit test. If you can feel it all the way, then the weapon outright fails. But on the hit test, even if that stab fails, the weapon, the striking on the tip, it's still pass. So this is something you use for discretion. It's all about, will this weapon hurt someone? And in what way could this weapon hurt someone? And then if you use your judgment, because if you're doing the weapon check for the event, it's all on your head if the failing weapon hurts someone or not. So you use your best judgment, because you don't want to ruin someone's day and fail their weapon that doesn't actually fail. But at the same time, you don't want someone to get hurt. Yeah. But give it a squeeze, check the pommel, same way you do. Pressure, look for any hard spots, any core coming out. If not, then you're good. Other than that, do the hit test, which you all know. What I do is I start with the section in the blade. So what I'm checking for is if I swing this on myself, checking the weapon, is that going to hurt myself? Or hurt myself? Because like, if you just pick up a weapon and you don't check it, you swing it on your leg, oh, that's core in there. Oops, that hurts like fuck. It would have failed from just the squeeze test anyway. But it's all good. I give it a swing about midway in the blade, medium to hard. I don't really do light that much just because you don't really learn that much from that. Like, if the weapon's gonna hurt, you're gonna feel it by squeezing it. So you do light or medium, hard, midway through the blade, that feels okay. Then I do the tip, like the last 3 inches or so. Medium, hard. If you feel anything that hurts on your leg like that, you don't immediately fail it. You want to find someone's back and give it a whack. I think this is a fine. A lot of people don't think that hitting your leg is like an accurate test or whatever. But I mean, you can hear I'm hitting my leg plenty fine. But if you want to, like, if it's on the borderline, you can just find a friend or whatever. Can you do that real quick? You find a friend. In between the shoulder blades is the most comfortable spot. Too low and you hit the kidneys, too high you hit the neck. You do medium, hard. And then you give it 3 seconds. Does that hurt? Oh, there you go. And then that would pass. And it's pretty much the general basis for striking weapons. Right? The reds is a little different because you're doing them with more weight, more mass. It's going to hurt more than a blue sword, no matter what. You also can't check it with someone, or check it by yourself. You need another person to check a red. But you do the same thing, you know, give it all the look-see. Half padding is a big deal because half padding already you're not supposed to hit people with. So if there's any dents or markings in the half padding, you really want to pay attention to that and use your discretion on whether that fails or pass. Any like dents in the foam that are like too much, you can really feel for it, you go ahead and fail that because it's already minimal foam on there to begin with. Like it's already going to hurt if it gets struck with that. So for reds, when swinging, you're not. A lot of people you see like jump in the air. Like I'm gonna call Batman out. Batman will literally jump in the air to test his weapon. Well, what happens when you jump in the air? You're now all your force is gone, and there's nothing on the ground actually causing force. So it's not an accurate way to test them. If you're swinging on someone's back, the worst thing you can do is say, okay, ready? You're ready, and then exactly, ready, you go and you like hit them on their hands, on their neck, or down too low. Where you're trying to hit across the shoulder blades, or even a little bit below. When you're swinging, we all swung reds before, we're not at dinner before. It'd be a light, usually do light on reds because they're a little bit meaner sometimes. Medium, hard. Now, you see big guys literally trying to chop people in half with their reds. Yes, that's an accurate test to the limits of the weapon, but how often is someone actually going to hit someone like that? Like, if someone's swinging like that on the field, that person needs to be pulled off if they're testing the weapon like that. What I just did was probably the maximum. I mean, I could hit harder. Everyone can hit harder. You're trying to hit as much as you can, but as safely as you can. You're not trying to guillotine someone. You're not trying to break the weapon. You're just trying to accurately test if the weapon passes for hit. Did that pass for hit? Yeah. The times things fail is when you, as a back, is if you count 5 seconds and that shit still hurts. It feels like you still just got hit by it. You feel like there's a line across your back. A perfect example, Toger got hit with a red at Rad, and people really wanted to pass it, and he's like, no, this thing fails. And then he has a post on the Florida Foam Fighting, his back is bruised across the way. Like, you're gonna know when a weapon fails. Maybe after 5 reds or so, like, that's when you get a little like, you can take a break getting hit in the back. Because then your back just gets sensitive over time. So if you do too many reds, you just want to like switch out. Let the person who's hitting you in the back take your red and then switch out with them. A lot of times people instill the rule, if you bring a red, back a red. That's an excellent rule. And if you bring a red to check, back for it. You not only learn how to test for reds better because you're getting hit, and then you're being a nice guy because you're not letting other people get hit, like having to check your reds. Some people bring a lot of reds, but you know, this is what it is. We're struck in the time of Florida where red is king, so we just have to deal with it. Stabs. Oh, this is an important one. A lot of people don't do stabs. Again, check over, feel for pommel, feel for core, feel the half padding, the head, all that. Feels good. I feel comfortable with hitting myself with it. So now I can ask Manny to hit with it. There's a pocket in people's back right here. I know Manny's much more well figured than a lot of us. You pretty much can't have the stab slide. If you ever watch someone checking spears and the stab just goes whoop, it's not an accurate test. It's not. You're sliding off. The force is gone. Of course, that's not going to hurt if it's just glancing. So in the back, you hold the weapon in the middle of it. Is my opinion of the best way to get the force of it. And you're doing your light, and you're leaning into it, and like not like casting it or sliding it in my hand. It's my weight testing the weapon of it. I'm trying not to, sorry if you weren't ready, I'm trying not to push him. I'm just trying to like really just like bap the spear into him. Like a lot of the times you don't really stab the way you test the spear. Like, I don't know if anyone who's like, gotcha on the field is Like you're trying to like really dig the core if it's there. It's not, but you're just feeling the hit of it. Back. Other than that, doing shield. So another way a lot of people I don't see test right is javelin. Thank you. It's the same as anything else. Feel for all this. Feel for the half patty and the pommel and whatnot. And the way I throw it, is you go about 8 feet or so. And I look silly doing it, but it does generate a hard hit. Hard as you can, pretty much. That is not a legal hit from that distance. Like if you throw a javelin that hard, you're getting kicked off the field immediately. But if that doesn't hurt, then more than likely it's not going to hurt if you get blasted in the nose from a javelin shot, like here at like a safe throwing distance. But javelin, you pretty much yeet it as hard as you can towards someone's back and to see if it's good or not. Getting it thrown at my back, if I feel any inclination of like a spot that, like you throw hard. Like any inclination that like after 5 seconds, like, oh, that still hurts, that javelin needs a second opinion, and then if that second opinion fails, then it fails. Because javelin and arrows are the most dangerous thing on the field because they can hit people in the face. You have to have extra, what's the word? Regard for those things because they will fuck someone up. Arrows, much like javelin, you just shoot me in the back. Oh, yeah, checking arrows. The same as the javelin, really. You're feeling for if there's any like core on the tip of the foam, anything like that. Here, you're checking for the length of the draw stop. Right now in Dagorhir, the rule is between 27 and 28. In my opinion, if you're at the between 27 and 8 inches for the draw stop doesn't really matter. If you have a draw stop at 26, that's okay. It's like a new rule we figured out at Ragnarok this year. But you give it a little bend. You're not trying to break anyone's arrows. You're just trying to feel if it's splintered at all on the field. If it got stepped on or not, you give it a shake. You test if the head is really secured on. Some arrows you'll pick up in field, and it'll like wiggle in the modular arrowheads. I don't think I've ever in a long time seen an arrow that's attached to the actual core. They're all usually modular. But if it's super shaky in there, you need to give it a twist and check the construction of it and talk to the person whose arrows they are and be like, hey, what's up with this? And if they're like, oh, I didn't secure it or whatever, it'll probably fail. But checking the splintering is very important. Check for 2 fletchings. This is fine if they're like ripped off like that. It's just going to happen with arrows. And then check to make sure the knock's secure. Because if it passes and the knock's loose and then it comes off the next time, the arrow fails. But for backing arrows, do about 15 feet. But instead of the normal, you normally have to half draw the far away. Do a full draw for the test. See if it passes or not. She's aiming for the middle of my back, and I cover my kidneys in the back of my neck to see if it's not covered. I sit there, I wait, feels good. Would I want to be hit in the face with that? Probably. Not really, but it's not going to hurt me. And then you just give the heads up. But usually she has like, 3 dozen other arrows she's trying to check at once. You just give a thumbs up. Shields you pick up by the handle if it's a punch, wiggle it, if it feels good, then you're okay. If it turns a little bit, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to shift out. It just means that it's a little loose. You're more so a little bit, yeah, a little bit. If it's like turning, if it's turning, it's going to come out from the tops or bottom. And that's more so what you're looking for than the handle coming out from the sides. Because if it comes out and it's poking through the top, is when you're like, yeah, that's not very good. Give it a wiggle, give it a rub on his face. Make sure this middle part, the boss, you're putting even pressure on it. You're not digging your thumb or pushing your fingers in there to feel for if the 4-pound foam right there is thick enough. You get a rub down, and then the sides for a full core shield like this. I check the tops where the handle will be a lot, and then on the other side, and then I just give like a quick little like rub down on the side and see if that'll be okay with it. You'll feel if it's way too hard on a punch shield, they have something on the edge that, or on a foam core shield, something on the edge that's like, oh, what the heck is that? So that's punch shields. For straps, same thing. The only thing you really have to worry about is for foam cord shields is if the zip ties are really protruding. Sometimes they'll dig in and you won't even feel it. It doesn't even matter. A lot of the shields have a facing over it, so you don't even have to worry about it. But if you feel any like hard object, something that if someone gets hit in the face or like hit in the elbow weird on a shield, because where a shield's going into people's faces, if there's anything hard, then you need to have the person go and like fix it or cover it up. This is foam, but if it were a wood core shield, it's very important to take this part of your wrist and you go on the ground like this and just get it like a little Judy chop all the way around. You're looking for if any foam's like been compressed or worn down or just not even there, like if it wasn't enough foam to begin with. You can feel if it's too much. Like if it's like, oh, okay, if this person edges someone, you're going to hurt them. That's pretty much it. There's checking bows, but checking bows, one thing that's kind of complicated, only because you need a tool for it. You need just a fishing weight. It costs like $5 at Walmart. You put the arrow on. You're drawing at 28 inches. This arrow just happens to be 28 inches. But if not, you can have a string with a loop on it, and it's attached to this that pulls all the way back to 28. There's a couple ways you can do it. But you pull back all the way to 28. Pull too far. Wasn't set. Professional. All right. Go back 28. We're at about 28. 28 pounds. More than 35, it fails. Less than 35, perfect. 28. The big thing is like if someone brings their bow and it fails for weight or for poundage, a lot of times their string is twisted, so it's just a matter of them taking it and untwisting it a little bit, and that could be enough to put it over or under. That's another big thing. It's just like the etiquette. If someone weapons fails, you're wanting to think of think of people in the best interest that they're not wanting to pass a weapon that's going to hurt someone else. So there's no reason to be a dick to someone who brings a failing weapon. If someone brings a sword that's like super ugly and it just happens to fail, then they made their weapon. They want it to pass because it's something that they put their time and effort into, or money, and they're hopeful that it passes. But if it's like offensive to you as the checker, then they're just trying to have a good time. You know, I've been to places where people have been like jerks to me because my weapon fails for whatever reason, stab tip fails or whatever. And we're all here just to hit each other. We're not. No one. I believe in my heart. I probably think too much of people that no one wants to actually hurt others with a failing weapon, trying to sneak it in or something like that. So think of the best of people and talk to them about if their weapon fails, why it failed, give them a tip of how to fix it if you know, and you know, it makes weapon checking more enjoyable and not like a dread. Sometimes it turns into, oh, I gotta go to weapon check. Oh, my shit failed. Oh, well, the guy checking was a dick or did this wrong or whatever. You don't want to be that guy, and you don't want to make them that guy complaining. So that's the general consensus of the class is always think of the people's weapons like yours. Like you want it to pass, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. So that's pretty much it. Template, super important. A lot of people use it wrong, right? It's a 2.5-inch hole for stabbing weapons. If a weapon fails for stab because of the template, you can still check it for hit and it'd be a blue only. But I see a lot of people, and this is my weapon, so I'm gonna do that. I see a lot of people go like this. Oh, it fails. They literally dig the weapon in there to make it fail. You can make any weapon fail with a wood thing on foam. You can make anything go through this. So using this correctly, I should have done it on a pommel and not my tip, but whatever. Doing it correctly, just place it on there. Oh, we're good. It failed, or it passes. We're okay. Go to the tip of the stabbing. Oh, even though I just made it fail, it passes because I'm not digging it on there. That's the very important thing is you just lay it on there. It's not digging it or going through an angle to try and work your way in there. It's just passing it through. It's good. Same with cross guards. We don't have a lot of cross guards down here, but you just place it on there. If it passes, it passes. So that was the important thing that I forgot. Pretty much it.
Awesome, thank you.
Health testing these? Like,
Yeah, if you want to run through shield, blue, find someone with red. I'm gonna say I brought a red.
just bring whatever to you. Light, medium.